Good morning. We have breaking news. Texas man fakes his own kidnapping in front of his terrified wife so he can go drinking with his friends.
Okay, where's the crime?
I don't see a crime in that.
Genius! Is he a national treasure?
No. He looks like a drunken slob.
Continue with the story. Anything else?
Okay. Rogelio Anavarde convinced his friends to stage an armed kidnapping. He showed up the next morning claiming kidnappers had let him go. The party-loving man now faces criminal charges for the scheme. A man faked his own kidnapping in front of his terrified wife so he could spend the night boozing with pals. Rogelio arranged for two masked men to grab him in front of his home in Edinburgh, Texas.
That sounds like a sketch, dude. Like something from like Saturday Night Live.
Do you know how many men have done this in married life?
Isn't that a bachelor party? Isn't that how bachelor party start?
You just have the truck pull up and snatch the guy.
That's how bachelor party started, and also Jackass. Like, I think that's how they got together.
Dude's night out.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
But why would he be facing criminal charges?
Because the judge didn't think of it first. He's like, son of a gun. That was clever.
God damn it! Now I can't use that one.
He said, I can't prosecute you on the grounds of if I prosecute you, then they'll prosecute me when I pull this off next week.
It's kind of how the Republicans are all defending Trump right now.
Ah,
Yeah, same shit.
I wonder.
Or all the Democrats against Biden. He's not creepy at all.
No one likes their candidate.
I know. No one. They fucking suck. But anyway, but that's not the elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room. Are you calling him fat? I am. Hi, fatty. Hi. Welcome back, fatty. Woo! George is in the building.
And like, fat as in pretty hot and tempting? I believe so.
No.
No, F-A-T.
No, like fat, like
P-H-A-T.
lard, like the rest of us.
With a hard F?
Yeah, with a hard
With a
F.
hard F, man. Jerry,
Enrique?
are you okay with her?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just
Good morning, sir.
I got a pending flight on Sunday, and so I'm just thinking about that. It's got my mind in a twist a little bit.
My mind.
What a twist!
I'm not a very good
Multitasker?
traveler. No, I'm not. Thank you. Want to finish my other sentence? No, go ahead.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I forgot. I have to mute myself whenever Enrique talks because he's got his titties in a twist. Go ahead, Enrique. It's the Enrique Show. Everybody, go.
No, go ahead. You already know what I was going to say. So yeah, I'm a bad traveler. I just don't like it. I get all stressed out.
What is the contention of stress? Is it all these planes that are crashing?
No, it's more like
The blackout that's going to happen while you're in air?
no, it's
The duct tape on the door that's holding it together?
Yeah.
Hey, did you see that door came off the Boeing? They
Or-
literally were landing that plane while the freaking door came off.
It's a delicious donut.
The tires. Sorry, we're a-holes because we're making it worse, aren't we?
I'm still tasting my donut.
That's awesome. Oh man, I envy you because you get to travel. You know, I'm raised in the hood, so we don't go very far very often.
Yeah, no, I couldn't afford flights, and even now, dude, how expensive they are, I still can't afford them. But I gotta go pick up my kid, and so it's more out of necessity. And the stress just comes from like all the pre-stuff you have to do 3 hours before, have to have your passport, and when you get over there, it's almost like a lottery in Mexico when you board off the plane. You have to sign this little immigration card or something where you're going to be going, all that stuff, and then you walk to where they do the bag checks when you're leaving, and you press a button, and it literally is a big kind of lottery looking button. When you press it, it turns green or red. If it's green, good, you can just leave. If it turns red, then you have to go into the more intense search line, and it's just
Yeah,
weird.
because that's what
That's
those cards are for.
terrifying.
They're for handing off to the cartel so that way they know whether or not you get the green light or the red light.
That's probably it. And then on top of it, like walking out of the airport, like dude, like you see the police with like machine guns all walking around. I'm thinking like, am I in a police state? Yes, yes, I am.
That is terrifying because nobody wants to go to jail in Mexico. Nobody wants to go to jail in Mexico.
All kinds of burritos in your ass.
Is it salsa verde or the red stuff? Because I'm not down with the red stuff.
But if it was salsa verde, it would be different for you? Hell no. I don't want no burritos over there.
Okay, listen. You either let life happen to you or you just go with it. That's all I'm saying.
How does that make any sense? Either let life happen to you or go with it?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're saying either let it happen.
You see, you're already thinking too
Voluntarily?
hard. You're trying to make sense out of...
What you say? I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Yeah, that's right. Goofy's got my back.
Goofy bastard.
So, Mr. Angel, how are you this morning?
Peachy Keen, Jelly Bean.
All right. And George?
No.
We have our Corbin Dallas.
Multipass.
So, Corbin, how's everything? How's life?
Unbelievable!
Fine.
No, how you been, dude? Seriously.
Catch
Good.
us up. What's going on?
It's been quite an adventure at the house with the baby. Because like I was telling you guys, my other daughter, through marriage, she went ahead and
Just say step
got
down.
married. Yeah, but I don't know. It just feels weird. But it all just sounds weird.
Yeah.
My other daughter.
Other daughter.
she
Older
went
daughter.
ahead- my older daughter.
There
She
you go.
went ahead and got married. And during that time, they were planning the wedding. Like, obviously.
Shout out Azalea.
Azalia, she would tell you.
Azalea. Azalea.
I'm sorry, my name is Azalia. But
My terrible mispronunciations.
Don't worry about it.
But anyways, while they were doing all the planning and stuff, like I was right there with Luna, because obviously they can't go and look at flowers when you got a little kid that's trying to run around and do all that madness. So, yep, me and her were hanging out. She's getting older. She's running around a lot.
We should have faked your own kidnapping.
She's getting a whole lot more violent, but I can't complain because that's partially my doing. That's Lucha Luna right there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And so I've received multiple scratches. I have received my first black eye from this little girl.
Yeah, get her.
She goes ahead and she has this habit of grabbing stuff that she knows she shouldn't, and when she gets caught, she chucks it and runs. And so one day I left my tablet on the couch.
I swear I didn't teach her that, but I'm so proud.
I left my tablet on the couch and snuck up on her. And when she saw, when she realized basically that I was behind her, she chucked it behind her, and I was obviously behind her. So the damn tablet hits me in the damn eye, and yeah, there you go. Yep.
That's his story. No, is Vicky really hurting you or blink once for yes?
Really hard.
Why do people keep asking that?
All right, we got your signal.
right.
We'll intervene.
Well, this show is now over right now. Thank you. Good night. We got to go do something.
Boop, 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 boop.
But yeah, and
I would
then,
like to report an incident.
Then
Give me that Mario doll over there. And George, show me where you got hurt on the Mario doll.
Did you let life happen to you?
I said no.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
Oh, man.
What about you, Dory? What's new with you?
Actually, I am no longer a youth pastor at my church anymore.
Yeah. Sorry to hear it, man.
Yeah, it's been an emotional ride saying bye to the kids. Not bye, but see
you later.
See you later. Yesterday would have been the first night that we didn't actually, do a Friday night, and it's been 7 years that we were working. So a lot of our kids grew up in front of us, and it was a very emotional experience. And
Did you guys cry?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
I bet.
I had a whole weekend.
Dude, I would have been fucking bawling my eyes. I don't know how you're still not crying now.
I cried so many times last weekend that I had a headache, and I
man.
was exhausted on Monday going back to work, and now I'm just at the point where when I do tear up or when I do think about the kids, I just call one of them.
Well, you still have context, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Are you planning on doing another youth pastor somewhere else?
Maybe.
Starting your own church? Church of Ouch?
Hallelujah. No,
Hail
I don't.
Squid Squad.
I don't know. It's one of those things where it does take a toll on you to say goodbye, and emotionally you don't rush into the next one. You have to heal from the last one, kind of thing. Because when you are that invested, like I was, I poured my whole life into everything that we did. Like I 24/7 basically. If they needed us, we were there. And the thing is like, when you are trying to help people for their sake and not for your own, like you see some of the darkest moments of their life and you help them through it. And so it's extremely rewarding. But then like this experience of having to walk away from it is extremely difficult. So,
Yeah. No, I hear you.
but it's worth it. I wouldn't take back the last 7 years. I'd do it all over again.
No,
Just not again.
You do it again, but somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, like mentally, how are you? You're good? Everything good? You happy?
Mental health? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got to sleep last night. I got a nap. Oh, my God. I haven't napped in so long.
I can't nap. If I nap, I wake up with a headache and then I can't sleep at night.
Are you oversleeping?
I'm undersleeping. I'm only sleeping like last night. I went to sleep at 2, woke up at 6:30.
No, when you nap, the perfect amount of nap is like 45 minutes. If you sleep more than 45 minutes in a nap, then you're going to wake up groggy because you're going to enter like a terrible REM state.
Probably that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is when I knock out somewhere, like in the living room or whatever, I wake up worse. And it's like, God damn it, I hate taking naps. I really do. And it's probably because I'm a deep sleeper. Like there could be an earthquake going around, alien invasion, illegal alien invasion, and
That's real shit.
and I would sleep right through it, man. I would sleep right through it. So I don't know. I just don't like naps. George, mental health, good? That's a no.
The same thing, freaking not sleeping nearly as much as I need to be. And then with my job, like I often go like fluctuate as far as between day shift and night shift.
Yeah.
So
The cameras that you install, are those commercial grade or residential grade? What are they?
commercial.
Commercial? Dude, give me your contact info. We're looking for some vendors at the DC company that I work for.
Okie dokie, buddy.
But for sure. And don't be a flaky fuck. And then, Enrique, how's your mental health? I know that you're stressed out right now. I could tell you're not all there.
I go back and forth. I have like this past 2 weeks, I've gone from being okay to just kind of feeling down in the dumps. It's a mixture of work, personal life, and just being able to manage it well. I don't know that I have good outlets for it. That's the thing.
Sounds like you need Jesus.
No, Jesus will not help me with that one.
Yeah, he will. He can take care of your lawn. You don't have to worry about that. He'll cut all the bushes and everything. You'll be taken care of. That's another thing off your plate.
You talking about Jesus de Lotero?
No,
That guy.
Jesus the lawnmower man.
Jesus de la Cruz.
Jesus de la Cruz.
I don't know, man. I prefer Chewy.
This is
Chewy?
That guy's cool, man.
How does someone go from Jesus to Chewy?
That's a really good question.
Like-
I've always wondered that too.
Like Mexican nicknames are so strange to me. Like okay, Ignacio to Nacho makes sense, right?
Yes.
Does it?
That Ignacio, Nacho. Like it's kind of like it's not really, but it is.
Ignacio.
Okay, look, okay.
Ignacio.
Enrique to Ricky makes sense.
Makes sense.
Enrique to Henry?
To Henry does not make sense.
I don't understand that.
Or Quique
That makes sense.
¿Qué?
because of the K, right?
Well, because anytime
Kike,
anyone's ever
yeah.
called me Kike, or it's always like it's always a girlfriend or a girl trying to be cute and stuff. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, Kike, and I'm like, okay, I guess.
Kike-chan kun.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
They gotta catch them all.
He's gonna get a
Catch
Pokemon.
this.
He caught all STDs. That's what he
He
caught.
wants the Pokemon.
Diglett. So,
Did you say Piglet?
oh wow, no, I did that.
Oink oink.
And then okay, Jason, Jay makes sense. George,
Hassan.
Hassan.
That shit's funny.
Oh,
Shut
Hassan.
up, George. Tell him about that.
No.
Oh, Hassan.
This is bullcrap. Okay.
All right, go ahead,
So
what's up?
I always thought, I asked George when I was younger because, he knows Spanish a little
Hey,
bit,
hey.
at least a little bit.
I know enough to know when somebody's insulting me.
First
He
of
knows
all,
burrito.
okay.
And I went ahead and let him know
First of all, I was trusting him, and I said, "How do you say my name in Spanish?" He said,
Okay, what did I do? I went ahead and raised my shoulders. And I said, "Oh, Hassan."
Okay, for the record, this is how George
Hassan.
answers everything. So it wasn't like it was discernible at the time. So I'm like, "All right, Hassan. All right, sweet. I am Hassan." So let me tell you how many years I walked around saying, "Hola, mi nombre es Hassan." All I want to say is that I went some places, all right? Some Spanish only speaking places. And I was like, "Hola, mi nombre es Hassan." And let me just tell you, it is really hard to pick up on women when they're laughing that hard in your face.
How quickly did someone call you mamon? Hassan el mamon.
You know what? I can't say that they did it, but all I know is that whenever people heard it, they inconspicuously started laughing extremely hard. And I always wondered, is it my pronunciation? Can they see through things? But then they would be like, "Oh, he's Dominican." And I'd be like, "Sweet, I'm in." And then I get a plate of tacos. So I never complained. And then every once in a while, somebody would dance with me and it'd be great. But then it was years later, the mystery unfolded. Somebody said, "That's not how you say Jason in Spanish." I was like, "Wait, what?" Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I was really hitting on that girl with all the confidence in the world that God can give you. I was like, "Hola, mi nombre es Hassan." And then she was like, "¿Qué? ¿Qué?" And I approached her and all her friends. She turned around. "His nombre es Hassan." I was like, why are you laughing? I don't know. I must be really handsome. And then I asked her to dance, and she was laughing so hard, but she walked with me to go dance, but she laughed the whole time. "Hassan!" And then even when we were at Quality, everybody would be like, "Hassan!"
Sounds like you're saying calzón.
Calzón, yeah.
Yes.
But, okay, so I mean, okay, Doyle, you're black, right? And
Yes.
Hassan sounds kind of
He's
like
black?
some Middle Eastern like name. I mean, you know,
It didn't make sense to me
Hassan
either.
Talib. You know, or
All I
something.
want
don't
to
know.
say is for
Allahu
many
Akbar. I
years,
don't-
it didn't make sense to me either, Enrique. I just went with it because that's what I thought my best friend would have told me.
Hey, I gave you years of wonderful memories.
Wonderful. I've been laughed at for 10 years. You made wonderful.
You made a lot of people laugh.
So
You spread joy.
I didn't get paid for this. I didn't get paid for this.
I have a friend,
Hassan.
the other Jason.
Don't be
Remember,
crying. It's not funny.
remember the other Jason?
Yeah.
Jason Nunez? Well, he's Puerto Rican, but
Hassan Nunez.
no, but his is spelled Jason, Jassen. That's his name, but he goes by Jason, right? So he actually would go around calling himself, and I mean, he knows Spanish, but he nicknamed himself Jacinto. So he would go around going, "Hola, soy Jacinto de las Nalgas." That was his name. And he actually picked up on women with that.
Yes.
Jacinto de las Nalgas. But it's because he was self-aware.
All I wanna say-
The difference is you were not.
I was not aware, but it seemed like I was very aware. And let me just reiterate a point that I made. All you have to do is be really confident, and you could be completely wrong, and it still will work because that nonsense worked. Mi nombre es Hassan. That's, oh my God, I'm so angry about that. I'm gonna punch you in the face, George.
You could claim another iPad hit you in the eye.
And you guys wonder why I hate him. I hate him. 10 years of Hassan. That's why I hate him.
Shut up, Hassan. Moving on. So
That's how you are labeled in my phone, Hassan.
I'm telling you, there's a legend. Okay, I will
legend
give you
of
one
Hassan.
quick story. So
And his dirty calzon.
we went to
Mamon.
we went to Rosarito, and let me just tell you that I had an epic night at Papa's and Beer. I got so drunk. And everyone knew Hassan. They were chanting it while I was at the top of the little steps, and I was up there with like waving my shirt around. I don't know what happened to that shirt. The shirt said, "My monkey can stay up all night.
Wow.
And I lost that shirt somehow. And that shot lady chased me around all freaking night. And I was drunk off my butt.
Well, because that was your alter ego when you're drunk. that was your
Yeah.
Dr. That was your Mr. Hyde, your Dr. Jekyll.
I think so.
That was Hassan. That was Hassan.
You know what the worst part is?
That was-
She had tequila, and tequila is my kryptonite liquor. It's the liquor that makes me black out. It's the liquor that I
What do
don't
you mean black?
Yeah, all of it. And I don't handle that liquor particularly well. So even when I was already starting to get drunk, and she kept feeding me shots, I know at some point like I was just gone into a whole nother realm of like, what the heck is he doing? And I was probably doing a lot of stuff that wasn't in character. I probably went and introduced myself to everyone at the bar that night.
Hello, Hassan.
Mi nombre es Hudson. And then they see me at the top screaming, and everyone started gassing me up. Hassan, Hassan.
How long ago was that?
Years.
Years ago. There is a legend in Rosaritos now. There's a shrine with only a T-shirt of a monkey on it.
De negro es Hassan.
El milagro de Hassan. That I have not been to Mexico since I think 2012.
That's actually why I'm pretty jealous, Enrique, that you're getting to go.
Yeah, don't be.
You can go. Look, if you think about the trip,
Is the
then you're gonna
traveling
get
that's
stressed.
bothering you, or what is it?
It's just a whole experience. I like, going when you. I mean, you guys have all been in airports, right?
Yeah.
At
Si.
least. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Si.
it's very bureaucratic, and you have to stand in line for things. You have to sign papers. They scrutinize everything. You have
unless
to
you
make sure
slip them a 20.
You have to pay $12 for a bottle of water.
It's the money part that doesn't bother me as much. It's everything else, like all the paperwork, and then you have to show your passport in different places. It just feels so unnecessarily difficult, and at any point, like the system can break down, and then you're fucked. I mean, I'm not afraid of flying itself. Flying is fun. Like once you're in the plane and you're looking out the window, it's cool. But
You're afraid of being violated in line, huh?
just hate the whole
Have you been
experience of it,
violated?
man.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, right. And every time we record these episodes, I feel like I'm getting diddled.
What we do off the air is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like have you been like, what is it like? Gone to second search?
Have they
Got to second.
rubber gloved you?
Have they love gloved you? Yeah,
Love
No.
glove.
Are you asking if they've done like an
Cavity
invasive
search?
search?
a cavity search.
No.
I'm just trying to be nice.
No, they
Have you ever had your shit pushed in? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Have you been randomly selected?
No,
Have they called you a drug mule?
no, because none of that. None of that.
Then I got to work harder.
Gosh.
Like, check
Yeah.
this man. He likes to regularly stuff stuff up there.
He's an associate of Dan Schneider
Oh boy. And Vince McMahon.
and Vince McMahon.
Oh man.
No.
Come on out, you rapist!
No, I'm sorry that you have to travel. I'm just trying to lighten the mood, trying to get you back into the mojo instead of freaking thinking about all that shit. Were you flying out of
He
LAX
almost stormed
or
off
Long
set
Beach?
right now.
LAX.
LAX.
Yeah.
How come you don't go from Long Beach? It's smoother.
Our airports are like airports from a third world country.
I honestly, I don't know why. That's a good question. I don't think I have an answer. I think I'm just automatically just look from LAX.
Yeah,
Yeah, Long Beach is so much better.
Yeah.
So much. The first time I got to go out of Long Beach was we went to Denver. We were on the plane in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's much
No
nicer.
lines, no like bull crap. Like half of that stuff that you're worried about, it's not there at Long Beach.
When they shipped me out to New Orleans,
You just pay a little bit more, right?
I think so.
yeah,
But-
just a little bit, but it's worth it.
Yeah. So
You said money wasn't an issue, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
caviar dreams,
Can't be a-
Gatorade budget.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to go. So that whatever it's going to cost, I'm just going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, no. Next time to Long Beach because I did LAX from New Orleans to New Orleans,
Yeah.
and that was a nightmare. I could see why you're like, yeah, no. Also for Hawaii, I did through LAX, and that was a nightmare. But New York, I did through Long Beach, and some other ones that I've done through Long Beach, and so much easier, so much fucking. It's like night and day.
Yeah, I mean, originally I was even thinking of flying out today. Like I was thinking of when I was buying the tickets, I was thinking of flying out in the evening. And there were flights out around 6 o'clock, but I mean I would have had to gone there 3 hours before, and I thought like no, I do want to record the podcast, and so I ended up pushing it till tomorrow. But either way, it's just like this is more out of necessity, and there was this whole ordeal. I mean, I'm not going to get into it because I won't be able to finish the story, but I'm paying like $900. Because I made some mistakes when buying the ticket, so it was a huge ordeal. And you have to pay for name changes if you put the wrong name, which I did. You have to pay for if you like put the origin flight incorrectly, and then you buy the. No, rarely do you get another place where you can check to see if all the information is correct. I mean, and
bunch of bull crap.
I think it's by design, and
I think you need a travel agent.
You know, it's funny. Like I was gonna say, that's why travel agents existed back in the day. I mean, they had a monopoly on the whole system, but like now, when you have to deal with the computer and all that stuff, and having to fill everything in, and then I feel like they make it more difficult in order for you to go for a travel agent. Don't you think?
Well, I think it's just a bunch of bull crap. Like we have, you can figure out how to get a new ID from the D.
Fucking bullshit!
That's right. That's right. They can figure out how to automate the system at the DMV for you to get a new driver's license, and it only cost me $12. But I got to pay $900 to obscure a flight. That's nonsense. It's completely. Never mind. I'm a rant.
I think it's just because they know that if you make a mistake with your ID, you're willing to wait, give it some time. But a flight is basically time sensitive, and you're going to pay what you need to pay in order to either make your flight.
But it is a monopoly, though.
I am going to say this:
the airlines are a monopoly.
I believe.
So they are.
I believe capitalism is probably the best social system.
I believe the children are the future.
Absolutely. I believe capitalism is the best economical system for a society, but I believe greed is the downfall of capitalism, and greed is out of control because
they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Is it?
No, you're right.
Okay. Because everything is so expensive and it doesn't need to be. And inflation's inflation's bullcrap, and they're just taking advantage of us. Like they don't want to pay us more, but they want to charge us more, and it's stupid. Like, okay, I get that a business has to make profit, but do they have to make that much freaking profit?
They don't, because
over fist.
Every year they report billions of dollars of profit, right?
Right.
But every year they take away more from their employees. Oh, we can't afford this, we can't afford that. How can you not afford it if you're making more budget, more profit?
Amen, brother.
Doesn't make no sense. The newest one, bacon. Have you guys seen this?
Ooh, please.
Have you guys seen this about bacon?
You about to make me mad.
Okay, so
Don't
someone
mess with a man's bacon.
Oh, well, they're messing with the bacon.
Oh,
there's packages of bacon. I'm gonna say right now. I think the last one I saw was Walmart, but they're not exclusively to this. They have a package of bacon that says 12 ounces on it, right? 12 ounces of bacon. So you're thinking, and they're charging you for 12 ounces of bacon. They're actually taking it out, putting it on a scale in front of you, like the pack with package and all.
8 ounces.
7.9.
Of course.
They take it out of they take it out of the packaging and they put it on there. 6.9.
Wow.
So they're charging you 12 ounces, but giving you only 7 if you're lucky. And this is legal. And it's on there that says 12 ounces.
Where's the false advertisement?
Where's the class action lawsuit?
Yeah, that's bullcrap.
You know what's funny? Like for me, you know how everyone's like, I want to get into politics because I want to change the world and all that. No, for me, it's always been that. That has always been my pet peeve.
Yeah, he's going to bring down the cost of bacon. Vote for Angel.
Pig. No, that's one.
My platform is food.
Yeah, I want more food. No, but for me, it was originally what really started pissing me off was hard drive space, where on there it says it's 120 gigs, but in reality, when you buy it, it's like 80. And then it says, it's estimated because of whatever reason. Like, they give you a bullshit
comes
reason.
With like a downloadable software that takes up like 40 gigs
that you're never going to use.
Yeah, a bunch of bullcrap.
And even back with the floppy
disk phone right now.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. Yeah, my phone too, same thing. I have like 20 gigs on it that I can't delete because it's just what it is.
System apps or some bullshit.
Yeah, so don't say that I have 120 gigs when in reality you're taking up 30, 40 gigs of it. Give me the exact amount. And when you say, it's an approximate, if you give me like if you're telling me it's 80, but in reality I have like 79, Okay,
That's approximate.
that's approximate. But if you're telling me I have 80 and in reality I only have 20 because everything else is taken up, fuck you.
Yeah, and on that note, when I get pulled over and I say, "Officer, I have had approximately 4 drinks," then they should let me go because I ain't over the limit.
Ain't 4 drinks pretty?
Hey! I told you about that. Try to make sense of what I say.
Just go. Next segment.
Sorry, Hustle.
Rage.
Sorry, Hustle.
Rage.
I guess a machine.
Yeah. Da-da.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but fuck capitalism. On that note, go to www.ouchcast.com and buy a t-shirt.
Right?
I mean, but hey, at least we're going to charge you a fair rate. And we're going to give you a nice quality t-shirt out of it.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Like when we were trying to figure out prices, we definitely didn't overcharge. And the thing is like, I've been on some of these like sites, right? And not to just plug our merchandise, but yes, I am.
Ouchcast.com.
I've noticed, like, if you go to some of these other premium tee websites, you'll see like $40-$50 for a t-shirt. For a t-shirt?
I know, that's wild.
$40? You're tripping. So we try to keep ours at 20 because if you love us that much and you want to support us, we don't need to make billions of dollars on you guys. We just want to quit our day jobs.
Please.
No, in all seriousness, that's bullcrap. $40 t-shirt. I'm about to rage again.
No, some of them I've seen 50. And the funny part is when we were going through the whole process, remember there was that other, I forget the name of the other t-shirt company we had gone before we decided on Teespring. But they had, like, they charge you X amount, full transparency. They charge you, I think it was like $18 per shirt, right? And then they were like, they recommend you charge 40 so you can make a profit and they can make whatever. But I mean, we didn't do that. We just went to the bare minimum, so $1 or $2 on top of it. So that's about it.
Yeah.
So to keep it, just to keep it happy, keep it gay.
That's bunch of bullcrap, man. $50 for a premium tee, and then you wear it 2 times and it has a hole in it. What kind of crap is this? I hate this society.
Or the silk screening starts like coming in.
Yeah, flaking.
Ugh.
Oh, I hate that.
I have a Hanna-Barbera shirt that I love. It has all the characters. It says Hanna-Barbera Smash. And it has all the characters like the Smash Brothers cover.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and it has like Dynamite and Blue Falcon. And that shirt flaked so bad. And I remember buying it and like wanting to wear it and like it just didn't hold up. And I've gotten t-shirts from that same website, but for whatever reason, that's the one that just fell apart. And that was like my favorite. And I was so pissed.
My buddy over there from Lucha Cats, he has some great stuff from the Lucha Cats. The
shout out Lucha.
Yeah, and I got a t-shirt from him too. And same kind of issue. Like it started flaking. It's still one of my favorite shirts, and it looks great. Every time I wear it, everyone's like, "Oh my god, that shirt's so cool!" But it's so faded now, you can't even see it. I gotta buy another one. Support Super Lucha Cats.
I have the same issue with my Kill Bison shirt, the parody of Kill Bill, but with Chun-Li. That shirt.
It's all
is
fucked
fucking
up.
dope.
Where'd you get that one from?
Rip T.
Rip T has good
It's
shirts
starting to
though,
rip.
man.
Yeah, that's where I got my Darkwing Duck shirt.
Oh, I love that shirt, man.
It's a Darkwing Duck like Batman.
Like Batman the animated series.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking a classic
And,
shirt. I gotta
that one held up.
I gotta
But
bite your style and get one that one for myself.
Yeah, my Mutant Babies, where it had the Muppet Babies, but as the X-Men, that sure fell apart from Rip T.
I guess it just depends on who they're using for that particular
Shirt.
brand.
Yeah, possibly. And then maybe the ones with more color are probably susceptible to failure.
You think so?
That's probably what it is. But
That Darkwing Duck one looks like it has a good color.
yeah, but it only has like 3 colors.
I'm wearing one right now. And
What is
you can slowly see it starting to...
But see, I know you've worn that shirt quite a bit, and that's not like
and it's been through quite a few washes.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's holding up way better in comparison to that Kill Bison one.
yeah, that's terrible.
On another note, the Ouchcast shirt that I have is still mint edition.
Yeah, it is. My Ouchcast shirt, nice,
Ouchcast.com.
very nice, very nice.
Come on, Squid Squad. Squid Squad. Squid Squad. Enrique needs to buy another flight. Come on.
This episode is brought to you by
Ouchcast. Squid Squad. I don't know. I don't know model.
All right. We're going to start our own freaking airline.
Yeah, but we're not going to charge so much.
Ouch air.
Ouch. No, that's a bad name for it.
Or is the other way around, huh?
I'm not flying.
I'm not flying anything called Ouch Air.
Air ouch.
Air Ouch. Air Crash Ouch.
You knew what this was.
Remember,
Hey, at least we're not false advertising.
remember the flight that crashed, and then the hoax, the person that called in and said like it was an Asian flight.
Something wrong.
Some
Holy fuck.
Holy fuck.
That was bad, dude.
Ouch being or ouch.
Ouch Ping Tao or no, Ouch Ping Pow or something like
Or
that.
pow, or- I don't know. So
That was
Okay.
messed up. When there was a Korean flight, it crashed, right? And they were like, "Oh my
pilots.
god!" And then some prankster called in, pretending that they were part of the flight authorities and stuff, and said that they had identified the pilots. No,
more insidious than that. What happened was I think it was San Francisco newscasters. They had called the whoever regulates the flights, and there was an intern working there.
Oh,
and that
wow.
person
Never mind.
confirmed the names of the flight or people who were
The crew.
flying,
The flight crew.
and so they were like, yeah. So he said like the real bad names. We too low.
Yeah, holy
ouch, bing,
fuck.
yeah, holy fuck, and ouch bang ding.
yeah,
Some Ting Wong.
something wrong was another one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something Wong and we too low.
We too low.
And ouch bang ting. Or
I
something.
wonder if there's a number where you can like send a text. Oh, never mind. Your phone's supposed to be in airplane mode anyway. I was gonna say if you're texting while you're flying and some ting wong, that's your fault because your phone's supposed to be in airplane mode.
that's a myth, though.
I know it's a myth.
It's not done, is it?
No, it's total bull crap.
I remember flying back in the days when they would tell you like you have to turn off like your iPod and shit like that.
Okay, back in the day, it makes sense because the instruments would like interfere with each other.
Yeah.
But they've upgraded their systems by now to where like
I hope
they
so.
have to know a cell phone is not going to bother the pilot, or else the plane would be like this and like
They're flying.
Yeah.
Rings.
So the names was
you get a call and you just drop one. Oh, answer that phone.
So the name was Captain Something Wong, We Too Low, Holy Fook, and Bang Ding Ow.
Wow.
And the person read this on air, like confirming. We just have to hot off the press, confirm. And
I blame the internet. I really do. I really do. People are really cynical and morbid and stupid because of the internet. I blame the internet. People were stupid when it was just TV. And
But they couldn't spread.
yeah, it was at least like
It was contained.
at least TV was like, all right, PG-13, rated R. The internet, everybody can see everything at any time. So like people are dumber sooner, and they've bad parents, and plus the internet equals horrible kids. You know what I mean? And with horrible kids out there, they're gonna do some really messed up stuff and not realize how messed up it
Like
is.
swatting.
Huh?
Swatting?
Swatting?
Yeah, swatting.
Like when you beat your kids?
No, swatting. Like when the fucking kids, they'll be like a streamer online talking and stuff, and just because they don't like them, they'll call the cops on them and they'll be like,
Oh,
there's a terrorist
yeah,
threat, bomb
yeah,
threats
yeah,
live
yeah.
on air, and then
See-
they send a SWAT team over there and
see-
fucking break down. Fuck.
That kid, whoever, if they do stuff like that, they
Sounds
should
like a
get
man
like
that's been
3
swatted.
years community service.
There should be more than that.
I mean, I don't want to ruin their
They should
childhood.
swat them for reals with a fucking.
I'm not
spank
against
the
that
shit
at
out
all.
of
Well, their parents should definitely swat them.
Cane 'em.
them. Wow.
Back in the 90s.
Chanclazo.
That'll be the last time he swats anyone.
Yeah. It'll
Tell
teach you a
you
lot.
what.
Okay, question for you guys. Have you guys seen X-Men 97? No
No.
spoilers.
No.
I only saw the first episode last night, and I freaking loved it.
Yeah.
The first episode. Okay, do you remember watching the animated series in the 90s?
Yeah.
Just the opening?
Yeah.
Rogue was voluptuous in the 90s.
She
And
kinda
now
still
they,
is.
They gave her the Captain Marvel treatment.
No. Don't believe that hype, George.
I love how George is like obsessed with a cartoon character that he used to fap to, and now he's upset because it's now a little more not so curvy.
Look, I get
Where
it.
do I fap? Where do I fap?
Rogue is the one character that like I didn't feel was as authentic as the original Inception in the 90s. But it wasn't because of the way she was drawn, it was her voice. Her voice seems like whoever the voice actress
That's
is,
terrible.
like she forced it a little bit. But I will say in that
On
first,
guarantee. I'm sorry.
in the first episode, they framed each character to where they got a moment to shine in a way that doesn't fit any agendas, doesn't play to any sort of like specialty groups, isn't like overly like down your face. Like, it sets up the story well, it introduces all the characteristics of the story, and all the characters come off like super dope. And so I've seen some disparaging stuff on the internet about this cartoon, but so far episode 1, 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10.
So to be fair, Storm's character's voice actress always was ridiculous. Even back in the 90s, I thought it sounded ridiculous. It just
over the top.
Over the top. It wasn't the voice, because I was reading X-Men since like the mid 80s. All the Chris Claremont storylines, I mean, I was all about it. I love that stuff. And Storm, when she transitioned from the the more the more regular character to the more punk rock version, like the voice in my head of this was somebody more like not Grace Jones. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the name, because that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Grace Jones is feeling over the top.
You can laugh.
X-Man.
So Chris Claremont himself said that
Sorry.
I'm sorry, dude, but that was funny.
Well, sure, I guess. Anyways, Chris Claremont had said that his inspiration was Grace Jones for her character. So, I mean, haha. And so,
Teach you.
But whenever I would read the character, that's not the voice I heard. And so when, I guess the 90s voice actress was probably told, do your best Grace Jones impression, and it was just bad. Like, I really hated her character in that show. And so when I watched the first episode, and hearing the lady, the queen, what did she say? What was her entrance line? Something about being the queen of the weather. I don't remember what the entrance line was. I was just thinking, oh God, no, that's so bad.
But let me explain why I love that character and it's bad, like, dialogue. Like Thor, they are freaking insane. Like, if you listen to what they are saying, they totally believe they're nonsense and they can back it up with what they're saying, but they are making some bold statements when I am the queen that the weather bows to. Like, what the heck are you talking about? And you're like, okay, lady. And then it starts snowing and you're like, okay, I'm sorry.
But they back it up, so like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, like Thor's like,
the weather's but a plaything in my hand.
yeah, like what are you saying? So I enjoy that nonsense on that level because it's not realistic and it's not really meant to be. So like, this is the kind of stuff like where I'm like, don't take it too serious.
Yeah.
This is the suspension of disbelief that no one would ever talk like that.
100%.
We did talk about it on a previous episode, how they fired the showrunner, right?
Yes.
I kind of dug a little bit more into it, and it's kind of like, well, I see why
maybe
they
he deserved.
fired him.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
But more power to him for actually giving us such a great product. I'm just afraid that the second one will not
I've
be as
only
good.
seen the first episode to speak.
I have not seen it. I'm just.
I will tell you what I think of the whole thing after to see if there's like producer notes or something that changes it up. Because right now it's the feeling of the show fits everything that I wanted it to be.
Yeah. Well, he was the writer and the showrunner.
But rumor is he was pushing hard for a female Wolverine to take over.
He wasn't.
Wolverine.
No, that's not.
Better not.
True. Yeah, no. He
That's
was
not
one
true.
of.
They
he was
already
only
have one.
one
of like two other showrunners. So I don't think the show's vibe is going to change too much with him.
I hope not. I mean, if it's good, I haven't seen it. I'm just
They don't need a female Wolverine. They already have one.
X-23.
They have
Yeah.
X-23 and then a variation, so to speak, Lady Deathstrike. Not like Wolverine, but same thing.
I'd say no, but okay.
Yeah, no, he wasn't pushing for no
Adamantium.
female woman. He was fired because of his OnlyFans.
Yeah, because he had an
content.
OnlyFans content.
He was like buying
heard
stuff, and
that
it was
too, but-
it was
Selling
making
feet?
people. Yeah, it came out, and so Disney just fired him. It had nothing to do with agenda writing.
Yeah, it has
because
to do with that.
the template of the show is still Chris Claremont storylines, Jim Lee storylines, and they're not modernizing it for anything. They're following the
I would
template.
have to say that they're modernizing it in some way. They went ahead and made more non-binary.
Yeah, that's,
They didn't
But
even
that's
mention
always
that.
been a
They
thing,
don't
though.
even mention it. And if there's one character who could get away with that
It's Morph.
ideology,
in the
it's
comic,
Morph.
and in the comic books, the
Dude, the dude has
the
no nose.
ambiguity of him. Yeah, it
No
doesn't even
features.
matter.
That
It
was
can be
weird.
whatever it is.
That was
Come
weird.
on, dude.
I'm not going to be afraid whenever like there is like one character that comes out as non-binary. I don't think it's an agenda. I just think, you know what? Hey, let's just make a character it's different. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
My issue is are they going to make him the central character and then suddenly all of his issues going to be the central storyline? I'm not interested in that because that's just going to make for boring storyline. I still want to know what happens to Cyclops and Beast and if they add one character in there, I'm not going to trip out about that.
And it's also in the presentation, because in the presentation, I want you to introduce me to the character, to the person, and his issues and his plights and everything that he's going through in life and what his special circumstances of why I should care. Like, introduce me to that. And once I know about that, then if you tell me, oh, yeah, by the way, he's non-binary, I'd be like, oh, okay, at least I care about this person. Don't like shove down my throat that he's non-binary and then expect me to care, because it doesn't resonate with me. But if he has issues like at home,
Or make him go announcing it.
yeah,
Because then that's like, hey, pay attention to me because I'm this or that.
Yeah.
Like you said.
When it's forced.
Yes.
That's
exactly.
I'll give you an example. Last of Us had a great storyline with what's his name? The dude from The Office, something Offerman.
Nick Offerman, but no,
Yeah.
from another Parks and Rec.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, Parks and Rec, that's true. Well, anyways, his storyline was like that character was always gay in the game, and his partner was with him, but he in the game the guy runs away, and part of the storyline is that he ends up finding out that he killed himself because he just got too stir crazy and couldn't handle like the conspiracy theory like nut that he had turned into, because basically that level that you go into that town that he took over, it's all been booby trapped because he's crazy. He wants to keep everybody out, and so his partner got so fed up with him, he ends up running away, he ends up killing himself. In the show, instead, they turned it into like a really nice love story that sort of spans like the 20 years from the infection breaking out to the point where you meet him in the current times. And it was good. It was fine.
I loved it.
Like, it was a great storyline. They just built on what kind of existed. They got rid of the aspect of where the partner was this hated the main character. Instead, they just made it into a love story. At the end of it, it was sweet, it was nice, and whatever. It wasn't offended by it at all.
I liked it.
But there was, there's the usual kind of people coming out on Twitter and everywhere, like, oh, there they go again with the agenda. It's like, no, it's like judge it based on the individual story. If it's a good story, give it a pass. If it's not, then talk all the shit you want. Also, the other storyline with Ellie, and when you find out how she had a romantic relationship with the girl that ends up dying when she also gets infected, and you find out that she's immune while the other girl isn't.
Spoiler
Again,
alert.
great story, dude. If you haven't watched it by now, that's your fault. So
Spoiler alert.
whatever. And I mean, we're like, dude, we're like what, like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months away from like second season. Come on,
Yeah, dude.
get over it.
At this point, if you haven't played the game or watched the show, shut the
That's
fuck
all-
up.
that-
I
yeah,
was
that's
just
on you.
throwing a spoiler alert out there. It's common courtesy.
No. Fuck
It's
you guys if you
coming.
haven't watched it. You need to be courteous to me. Watch the crap out of it or read
Yeah.
it and find out so I can talk about it. It's not, you know what? That's my agenda.
I just want you to know that is a very reflection of the internet generation, because we used to be like, hey, dude, I haven't seen the movie, chill. And then now it's like, if you haven't seen it in 3 months after it's come out, I'm talking about it.
No, nowadays it's like, if you haven't seen it from like yesterday, I'm talking about it.
Speaking of, okay, have you guys heard that millennials have what they're the parents of what are now being dubbed generation, I think it's Generation Alpha.
Yeah.
And do you guys know anything about that?
I've never heard of
I
this.
know they're
This is
going to be
first-
more screwed up than their parents.
Please.
That's exactly what the
Please
headline.
educate me.
Well, I don't know. I was hoping you guys could, because all I read was a headline that said millennials begat Generation Alpha and they're already doomed. And I wanted to read it, but I haven't had time. I saw it last night when I was at my show.
If I'm generation, what is it, X,
Alpha.
right?
Yeah.
I'm X, right?
You're X.
So my kids are what? I mean, my wife is a millennial.
Z.
My wife's a millennial.
Yes.
I'm an X.
Your kids are a Z.
Z.
Generation Z.
Z. Okay, and then so other millennials would be Alpha.
What's the age range again for millennial?
Okay, you're taking it too literal.
No, but no,
like
he's right.
He's
right.
They have at a age. Like,
There is an age. There is a scale of age.
But
he's right.
I just want to say they change. If everyone here looks up what are the age ranges?
unfortunately, looking at it, I think that we had fallen into quote unquote the tail end of like The millennial.
Yeah, we did fall into the tail end of the millennial, but then in some retrospect, some accounts will say that we're X. So it's like nonsense.
Well, we were tail end millennial.
All I know is I ain't no boomer.
Raised as an X.
All right, here we go. I'm just going to jump to ours. Okay, so from 1965 to 1979, Generation X. That's
Okay.
me.
79?
79, yeah.
79.
From 75 to 85, you're a Xennial.
Wait, how did it go to
Xennial?
Xennial.
75 and X ended in 79?
Yeah, they cross.
Okay, so they cross.
Yeah, they
Okay.
always cross. Okay,
Don't cross
next
the
one.
streams.
The Millennials or Gen X or Generation Y are from 1980 to 1994. So my wife is a millennial. I think you guys are millennials as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Gen Z is from 1995 to 2012. Gen Alpha is from 2013 to 2025. So my kids are actually Gen Alpha, and then I have one Gen Z.
Okay.
So I have an alpha.
And then the
I'm the
Boomer
millennial
generation.
man.
The Boomer generation is the one who's fucking everything up right now. The Silent generation, no one cares because
You
they're
said the
dead.
boomers are fucking everything up?
Yeah, and then the Greatest Generation, 1910 and 1924. Where are they now? Not so
Dead.
great, are they?
Wow. Actually, you know what? My grandmother's still alive.
Oh,
Shout out Granny.
Then never mind.
Yeah.
I'll take that back. The last generation.
She'll still beat kids.
The last generation.
Go get a Switch.
Is from 1890 to 1915. That's what they called. That's what they were called. The last generation. I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's one called the Interbellum generation.
See, this is starting to get nonsense.
Yeah.
Look, all I know is that the youngest kids. Okay, to answer your question, Enrique, what I've heard about Generation Alpha is that Generation Alpha, and there's conjecture here because like it's always like some kind of fear mongering a little bit. They're saying like Generation Alpha is the most godless generation of all the generations. Like they're going to be raised to not believe, and they're projecting like 70% won't believe in God. And so they're saying that this would be like the perfect generation to raise into a society of like godlessness, etc., whatever. And so the thing about it is like there's a correlation between like a society that's like pro-atheism and like society being like extremely cruel to like its members, right? So in this article, when it was trying to state that the alpha generation doesn't believe in God, like I've also seen a revolution of like people coming to like know who God is from like the generation before that they didn't account for. Because the one thing that I will say about that article is that they don't take into the rate of conversion and people actually becoming, like they're just saying like my
5-year-old. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, happy birthday, Alex. Today's his birthday.
hey Alex.
He's 5 today.
And
But
that's
yeah, he's going around the house going, God is great, God is good, and he's singing all these hymns, and I'm like,
Amen to that.
it's weird because of the fact that I'm not religious.
Right.
I'm agnostic. My wife is atheist, So for him to do it, I mean, like I told my wife is like, she cringes because she's very anti-religion. Mm-hmm. I'm different. For me, it's more of I just don't practice.
Where did you get that?
I know. Where'd you get that? Yeah, no, she does. She's like, don't say that in the house, but he can cuss.
How
But-
dare.
But for me, I'm more, like I told my wife, if our kids at any time are interested in any religion, whatever it be, I'll help them learn.
Except Scientology.
Even Scientology. If they want to go to Scientology, I'll take them to Scientology.
You're gonna take them to Scientology?
Yeah, I'll drive by.
Who are you and what have you
No,
done?
you need to put your foot down on something. That's definitely one, bro. No, if he comes out wanting to be Scientology, do not.
That woke him
Do
up.
not drive them there, because once you drive them there, you will never see them again. Don't
that,
do it.
That woke him
Oh
up.
man.
Wait,
No,
wait.
so-
Hold on. We'll never see them again? Okay, I got 4 candidates for Scientology.
No, okay, but not to make that about religion. What I was trying to say is
You have to have faith.
no, that we keep making these projections of what we think we know because of the way the statistics or the averages play out, but the averages and the statistics don't truly represent like the mindset of the people, how the people feel, what issues or things that they face in their timeline that are going to make them behave a certain way. There are things that influence people. For example, 9/11 is something that like probably traumatized half of the planet, you know, and I know like all of America, but like, you know, how many people got freaked out after 9/11? And so when you have an event like that, it can shift the culture very hard.
So, it traumatized us so much that we were actually calling French fries freedom fries for a while. Mm-hmm. Had nothing to do with France, but we were calling them freedom fries.
Wow.
Like, America #1, yeah.
Yeah.
What about freedom toast? No,
Freedom, yeah. That's,
so 9/11 like changed the world because it changed how we did TV. It changed how we fly. In fact, most of the shitty things about flying now really came from
You just
like
triggered
9/11
Enrique.
and everything.
We went
But-
full circle.
but
Yeah.
hey, there it is.
We got one in.
so earlier, what you said about you know, about them being the godless children. What from an article dated March 22, Los Angeles Times, it says millennials gave birth to Generation Alpha, and are these kids already doomed? And so it goes on to cite some references like social media TikTokers who interact with a lot of the Generation Alpha, and Generation Alpha is really like they're still young, right? They haven't quite grown into like the teenage years. They're still kind of growing, because Generation Alpha is from to 2010 to 2024. So they're still they're relatively young, but you know, think of iPad kids. You know, have you heard that reference? That's Generation Alpha, or weird colored, like weird names for weird colored shirts, like sad beige and happy blue. Like when you go to the stores, all that's catered toward.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, not kidding you.
Is there like a shitty brown?
There probably is. And so you know what they're saying is that the Generation Alpha is kind of going to be the opposite of
White.
of Generation X, who are called like snowflakes. Generation Alpha is going to be desensitized. So as they get older, they're going to be the ones that just don't care, and so maybe that's where the godlessness comes in.
Snowflake white.
I think that was the principle that they were trying to instill, because like with the internet generation, they're starting to see
Trump orange.
the effect of like Agent Orange, but Trump Orange. They're trying to see like what the influence and the effects of the internet are. It's like cigarettes. You know, they didn't know for generations the effect that this is going to have on society. They knew.
They just hide it.
It's the same thing with the internet. Like, oh, social media is so bad for you, but everyone's on it, and now look at everyone, and then they wonder why. But they knew what they were doing.
You know what's funny though, for social media, if they were just to have that more transparency and more of a personal contact with the user, I think that would fix a lot of the issues. But the fact that there's this wall between the websites themselves and the actual user, that I think causes a lot of the misinformation and the fucking shit that goes on. There was Instagram. My oldest son is on Instagram, right? Which I don't mind. But I realized the other day that I saw that I read on I think it was on CNN, I think, or NPR, one of those two, where they are now doing videos where women are, showing their breasts supposedly for like breastfeeding videos, but they have dolls, and you can tell this person's she's not a mother. It's just she's just doing it to be able to expose.
Seller OnlyFans.
Yeah, so you can click, go to so she comes out, expose herself, has a doll in her hand, and she's like, "Oh, this is for educational purposes only." Wink, wink. But her tits are all out and everything, just for the show, for the world to see. But it's not educational. It's just she's not a mother. It's not. There's nothing there. They're just doing it because they want you to go over to their OnlyFans. I've also seen things where they have all this misinformation. There's Nazis on there and on X and stuff, and they'll hide behind the First Amendment right. But they're posting shit like, Hitler was right, But if you say anything about that, nothing will happen. If you say free Palestine, you get blocked.
Interesting.
It's
I would remark saying Hitler was right not have anything done, because the ADL would come after them hard.
I would think so, but like I've been noticing a lot of the hypocrisy and a lot of the stuff.
There's a lot of hypocrisy.
Yeah, like it's nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense where they allow you to be right on certain points of the agenda, but they don't allow you to have an opinion on all sides. So like even if you're saying stuff respectfully and like you're coming from it in an educational manner, they do block stuff that like there's no reason to block.
Yeah.
And it's kind of,
Or if you do something in satire, but it's because it's touching buttons on certain things that they want to oppress, all of a sudden you get blocked. You get that blocked.
yeah. I've seen the hypocrisy. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist.
Both sides though. It's
it
completely
doesn't-
both sides.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't allow freedom of speech. It's very oppressive and repressive to conversation. So I don't know. I still am very hopeful for the future. I've seen, especially like, I know it was a small sect of kids or whatever, but like I saw kids transform from like being terrible, not terrible, but like going through life and having life happen in a way that like, you know, it was like, oh, these kids are on the wrong path and they would have been judged hard by society. But I saw the best of humanity come out in like a small group of people. And it really just reminded me that like anybody could be better. Anybody could be great if you give them the chance, if you speak into them. The thing about a lot of my kids is that they came in on their own. They came in off the streets. You know, I'm not saying that they had bad parents, but, you know, like, obviously they were running roughshod. Like, all the elements that they would say, you know, that could go into, like, kids having a rough upbringing and then not turning out well.
Yeah.
A lot of our kids, met that standard. And so when they came to church, it was like they had a lot of bad social issues. They had a lot of problems. They came from places where there were a lot of fights and they were involved in stuff like that. And then, like, over time, just encouraging them and believing in them, and then they just like turned out to be like really good young human beings, and like they're doing their best, and they carry some really good social values. I don't agree with everything that they believe in. I don't agree with everything that they say, but I think they still uphold and they carry themselves to a really high standard, and that's all you can really ask for the next generation. So I have a lot of hope for the next generation. I think that there's inherently like a lot of good. Like the fact that they're so political is because they care about something. They actually want to do good in the world. They actually want to make a difference. They actually want to make a change. But sometimes they just go about it the wrong way. And I get that, but at least they're trying.
It's funny to me. All generations are flawed. Like every single one is an issue. Let's go. Come on, baby boomers are like now. You know, we're like, but back then they were like, oh yeah, the greatest generation would say that about
Themselves.
so, and themselves, and so on and so on. So there's every single. I believe it's every generation will always have something against the past generations. But isn't it like typical?
It's all based on like some generations have more trauma than others. Like, I mean, World War II was a defining thing for
World War I,
that
World War II,
generation. Yep. And then Vietnam was, and then earlier you talked about 9/11, and you saw all the changes that came from that. And Generation Alpha is going to have to deal with
Call of Duty.
No, I was going to say the pandemic. And
the pandemic, yeah, that really did affect a lot of them.
How that affects them is like reading, like, you know, like right now, like these young kids, because remember, Generation Alpha is still relatively young, but they're struggling at reading, they're struggling at math, they're struggling at social skills. Well, think about it. They had very limited access to the things that help kids, you know, learn and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my oldest had a big issue. He was we had just moved to the house we were at, and then pandemic happened, and then so it was a new school. He was there for 2 weeks, and then COVID happened, and there was the lockdown. He really changed. He used to be a really happy-go-lucky kid, always laughing and having fun. And then from that moment on, he was just depressed. It was just depressing to see him, and he just got moody. And of course, his hormones kicking in did not help. He had issues. We wanted to get him some counseling for a while, but I mean, he course corrected without it because he started getting adapted back into school once the ban was lifted or whatever.
Yeah.
He started getting better. Now he's great. He's super social. He has good grades. He's in football. He has a girlfriend, friends, and the whole 9 yards, and he's completely social. So I'm glad he did not need to go to that extent, but it almost got to that point where it was really bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Just jumping back to when you're saying every generation had a gripe about the previous generation, I feel that's because each generation had to deal with something in particular that the previous generation, like, it was already either taken care of. So now it's like, okay, well, why didn't you guys do this differently? When in reality, that generation probably didn't have time to deal with that on a social level or whatever because they were dealing with their own shit.
Yeah. No,
But it's also technology, societal changes. I mean, think of the boomers who are already fully in an industrialized world
boomer.
that's moving into like big cities. Their parents and grandparents, 30, 40, 50 years ago were just barely coming out of an agricultural system. And so things have to change. If they don't, then, you get stuck. I mean, think of like when automobiles were introduced. Well, that changed the way cities dealt, and of course that's going to
no more horseshit.
Oh no, they found other horse shit. We're shoveling it here on the show as we speak. Sometimes, so
Sometimes?
no, as we speak, most times. How's that? So yeah, and then the internet. Earlier you mentioned about like, well, the internet's a big factor, and so I mean, think of this. In the 80s and 90s, how did parents do research for everything, flights and school and whatever?
They didn't.
They had to go to offices. They'd have to speak to travel agents. They'd have to go to the library. Mm-hmm. All of these systems that were there, and now you just do it all on the internet, and so it changes how you interact with the world, and you can underestimate the impact that has, but it has a huge impact how we interact with the world. And so
I definitely think that each generation has like kind of been defined by like some broad statements, right? So like from 1900 to like 1940, they were colonizing and they were trying to survive. Then from like 1940 to probably like 85, they were probably just trying to like figure out life, with like the nuclear bombs and stuff. I think like 80, I don't know, maybe like 70 through like the 90s, they were really ignorant. Like they just didn't know any better because we did a lot of stuff in the 80s that we didn't know the effects of, and now like all these studies are coming out and now we know. Our generation, I think from the 90s probably to like 2010, we didn't care. We heard all this stuff, but we were just kind of like overhearing it because we were told from the time we were young. Now they start to care. Like now this generation is growing up caring about all those social issues. You could have told me about Palestine when I was 15. I would have told you I don't give a crap.
I think I did say I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
Now I do.
Yeah, and now this generation cares. So we've seen an evolution in mankind, in our people, in our society, etc. Whatever. Yada
As
yada.
a matter of fact, I have a little bit here of when we asked you about Palestine, what you said.
I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
That sounds just like me. Mm-hmm. You know what? I think this generation might be a little over emotional about some of those issues.
100%.
And that's
Man, I saw
probably
somebody
where.
protesting to get a freaking turtle out of a bar because they had turtle racing.
Oh my God. I heard about that over in El
was
Segundo
like,
somewhere or something
say
like
that
that.
again.
Yeah, get the fuck out of
And what were they going to do with the turtle once it was free?
Gumbo. Turtle gumbo.
That's disgusting. And
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Sorry.
It's like,
Was it Shredder? Get that turtle. No, but yeah, it's good to care about things. You know what I care about? I care about the Ouchcast.com.
Yeah.
Follow us at www.ouchcast.com or call us at area code 925-421-6824. That is 925-421-OUCH. George, anything to say?
go Squid Squad, go!
Welcome back. Doyle?
I still hate you. How dare you tell me my name was
Hey,
Hassan?
Hassan, chill out.
No.
You had a legendary night, and it was all because of me.
You legendary trauma.
La leyenda de Hassan. Enrique?
no, it's good times. Good times.
Wow. Good stuff.
Safe flight.
Bullshit.
Anything else? Discord? No?
No.
Why no Discord?
Just one thing at a time. Let's keep it simple. Go to Ouchcast.com.
Okay. And I guess that's it, everybody. And remember, George is here. I'm kidding. Never make eye contact while eating a banana. Thank you and good night.